All right. Hi,
All right.
Amigis.
Hola, everyone.
So I don't have any notes because I was on a trip, but I did read.
That's okay. I actually took notes this time.
Okay, okay, good. So then you'll help me
Took
out.
notes.
Okay, perfect. Okay, let's start from chapter 7, which a punch in the face, right? To me, this was a
Mm-hmm.
filler chapter. I'm gonna
Mm.
just say it.
Oh,
I
okay.
think it's where Knox and his brother fight, right?
Yes, this one was. I felt it was very random that they just like automatically went into like a punching like fight and whatnot.
Well, I think clearly there's like a sibling rivalry, but then I think they
Mm-hmm.
both realize they're interested in Naomi, which is the testosterone. I guess if we're gonna blame it on testosterone.
Yeah.
Um, Again, to me, I mean, I guess I understand the layout where she wants to just make it known that they're interested in the same girl, and the brothers have a tumultuous
Mm-hmm.
background or history. But it was a filler chapter for me.
Yeah, I think what for me this chapter, I think it might have been the longest
Yeah.
chapter out of like everything, and yeah, I think for the most part, it was just like an interesting way to introduce the brotherly hate the two brothers have.
Mm,
And then I and yeah, it was like also like an intro or just to confirm like yes, both of the brothers are interested, and for some reason Knox just hates to admit that he does have a crush, even though he admits this is his brother's type, not his type.
right, right. Okay, wait. Have you ever fought when you're? I've never physically fought a sibling, but I know that's a dynamic for most families, or some
Mhm. I have never fought a sibling. I think the most was back then when like me and my sister back then we had to share a room, we had to share a bed. She literally kicked me off the bed, so that's as far as I'll go physically because I will lose. So no, thank you.
No, I mean, no, just a verbal argument, but never a physical fight. But I did have friends who would physically fight, but this just kind of like rigged into it. And I think for guys, it's interesting that they have such a long-standing issue because guys traditionally just squash
Hmm.
the beat, like they'll do a little rumble tussle and then
Yeah.
great. But anyway, we're gonna move on from chapter 7 because clearly it was just a filler. It was a filler chapter for the
Hmm.
chapter 8, we finally meet Liza, right? Who ends up being their
Yes.
grandma. I had a notion. I either figured it was going to be the mother
Uh-huh.
or some familial figure, right? It was never going to be a random
Yes.
generous person.
Hmm. Yes, I think like in my head when I was reading and found out that this is like their grandma, in my head I'm like, I knew it, we were right. It was like some kind of family member because like there's no way that they're just gonna give a free cottage, a free
Right?
home to some
Come on,
stranger. So
come on, or ask someone who has a cottage or rental as a business
mhm.
to have a free cottage for some random girl who just showed up in town whose sister everyone hates.
Yes,
Anyway,
exactly.
but I think you kind of gauge
Yes.
more on when her sophistication, but also clearly the grandma is like standoffish, but respects the boys. Like they'll come together for the
Mhm.
boys, but not really. And it also speaks more on like them not being friendly or friends with each other. Um, but yeah, I think it's really interesting. Obviously, we read the following chapter, but within this chapter, the grandma saying like, just don't tell Knox or the brother that you got this job. Which,
Oh yeah.
of course, I think the grandma can sense that Knox likes Naomi.
Yes, I think you're right on that because no Amy mentioned that she works for like Honky Tonk or whatever this like restaurant bar thing is.
Mm.
And like to be honest, this grandma's smart. She knows the boys too well, so she is definitely on to Knox and Noemi. I'm pretty sure she knows that those two are gonna hook up.
Yeah, and I think they also kind of touch base on wailing. What are we calling her name? Waylay.
Waylay or Whaley or something. I don't know.
Wait, whatever, Way having her little tech business, right? Her like tech repair business. They like
Oh
kind
my
of
goodness.
a little bit. What else do you have in your notes?
Yes. I think the only thing that actually caught my eye in chapter 8 when we get introduced to the grandma, like the family dinner, is that honestly, Noemi, she gets like a view of Knox more like as like maybe being a family man because right away, like he's helping in the kitchen, and then he's also like he's very close with Whaley, or he connects with Whaley like pretty easily. They have like almost similar personalities or characteristics. And so I feel like this is like a good intro for Noemi to be like, you know what? He may seem like the bad boy, but at least he's good with kids. At least he helps in the kitchen or something like that. There's potential in the man.
Okay, okay. I mean, obviously she's attracted to him, so I don't even think she
Yep.
cares. She just got rid of her fiance. Oh yeah, that was another thing that happened, right? Where they're just clarifying that she
Yes.
going bride again. Now I think they're truly solidifying and
Uh-huh.
defining that, she stepped away from the situation and it didn't work in her favor. But we don't have
Yes.
anything else. Let's move on to chapter 9.
Yeah. To
Um,
chapter 9. I think, you know what, chapter 9 was like a little bit funny, and it just like really just shows how like attracted they are to each other because no Amy was outside just minding her business, and then out comes Knox like in his boxer briefs or whatever. And it's kind of funny that the author would be like, "Oh no, he's just outside taking a piss and that's it." That was like the first chance she got to see him like
Grandma's cottage. Well, love romance books. You gotta get some sex.
mhm.
You gotta get some
I thought
rated R stuff, like mild rated R stuff.
yeah.
Oh my gosh, I forgot. That's right. That's right. This was.
I
I
just
mean,
thought
I
that
can
was like
never be so attracted to a guy that I just want to take a quick glance. Like,
yeah.
but
Yeah, not
romance
not
book.
like that.
It's a romance book. Clearly, the author was
It's
doing something with
really
that. I was just like, oh, girl, you're a mother now.
mhm. Basically, she's out
Basically,
here seeing her neighbor like half naked, just enjoying the view.
too much, too much. Those aren't godly activities,
Mhm.
but it is what it is. And then I think this, what is it? What chapter is this? This is where she finally meets the
Chapter.
librarian.
Oh yes, when she meets a librarian and she kind of gets a chance to, I guess, in a way, see how Whaley really is. Like the librarian described her as actually like like being a pretty good kid. She's like independent. She's really smart. She might have like a little girly girl side to her. And yeah, I think overall
You know what is
getting like
interesting?
a better understanding.
What I'm predicting for this book
Mhm.
is clearly Naomi is like, oh, there's another pretty girl in town. She's a librarian. She's beautiful. I feel like in the future, I could be wrong. I could be
Mhm.
wrong. Um, the sheriff brother probably dated the librarian
Ah,
because they got this
interesting.
guy, and it doesn't sound like there's too many pretty girls in this town. And for Naomi
No,
to recognize it, then that means that
that's true. That's
well,
true.
that's what I thought when I was reading that. But it was really nice to see, Waylon. We should probably get the name right, or else all the
Yeah.
actual fans of this book are gonna scream down our throats. Like, can't you read? Clearly we cannot read.
Yeah.
Anyway,
And then
I thought it was really nice. She's helping out elderly. Doesn't seem like she's scamming them. And I say that because it seems like obviously the mom's a huge scammer in the town.
mhm.
And it's her niche, and I think they'll probably go into what Naomi pushes her to be in the future, right? And I think in this chapter, like she's finally trying to get answers, right? So she writes like a few
Uh-huh.
emails to people, and so first
Oh,
she's
yes.
sad, which I still think she's in the wrong. I still think she's in the wrong for
Yes.
not telling them this is like huge major news outside of you being a runaway bride. Like, what makes you think that your parents want
Mhm.
for you right now and cancel their trips because you're a runaway bride? Let's start there, right? And
Yep.
then Steph, um, Who did you think Steph was?
Um, Steph, you know what? I don't remember Steph. Steph.
Waylay, I guess that's her name. No,
Wait.
that's the next letter. That's the next email that she writes.
Oh, Steph. I'm assuming it might be like some friend.
I thought it was
Maybe
a maid of honor, but it's so ambiguous. I don't mean they never revealed the husband or like the fiance's name. Steph,
no.
Stefan.
Mm-mm.
I don't know, but who
Yeah,
knows?
no. I think we're getting just like a tiny little glimpse of like what her past life was. Yeah, she did mention like she really doesn't want to ruin like her parents' vacation. Like let them enjoy their time and then they'll be refreshed for like the drama that's about to happen.
I think
Uh,
here's like the logic in me that ruins sometimes books where it's like, one, why
mhm.
didn't you file the bank to say, fraud was occurred, my things were stolen. Usually if she stole your credit cards, it means that you can file a claim to have things rebutted. Same things for cash withdrawals. Um, usually, but this whole like, oh, she's my sister, I'm gonna like let her be, like, I don't think I
Yeah.
my sister screw me over that much, would you?
Oh
Jail.
no. No, no,
Straight to
no.
jail.
Exactly.
Straight.
Exactly.
You jail. When are you go to jail?
Like I
And then
love family, but oh no, 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 no. Don't screw me over. Screw yourself over.
right, like make your own financial
Yes.
mistakes. But you know what? We forgot to mention that the brother does give
Hmm.
some further explanation on what she needs to do for foster care. Let's just say sheriff for the. I don't know Knox. I can't remember
Yeah.
his name. We're professional women. We're so
Yes.
sorry. We have busy lives, and
Yes. The sheriff.
the share, right? And so
Yeah.
now she's actually
The
really
sheriff.
serious about doing this guardianship, which I appreciate, right? And hopefully, I really
Yeah.
hope the writer doesn't write like Waylay to be some horrible niece, trying to just get into trouble and whatnot. So,
Hmm.
hmm
Yeah. Honestly, bless Noemi for doing that because I am sure not many of us would just like even consider adopting our like apparently like brand new niece or nephew. Like you have no idea how this kid is, and she's mentioned that this kid is like messed up, but she's hoping the kid's not too messed up for her to take care. So
you
props
know,
to her. I think the sheriff gave her. It seemed like she has 6 months to like decide if she really wants to take full custody.
I
So
don't get
basically,
why
6 months
they're
is
90 Day
gonna.
Fiance, but a 60-day CPS trial, like that makes no sense. It should be a 90
Yeah.
day child placement, but I don't know the rules. I have no idea it's made up. So I mean, I'll speak out of turn.
Hmm.
But chapter 10, this goes back to Knox. You know what? How we
Yep.
would memorize the characters if they just gave chapters like to all the characters because I don't remember.
Yep.
Anyway, I think this is where you start to really learn that he's a businessman, right? He looks like obviously
I
your
was.
appearances, but he's a
Uh
business.
huh. I was surprised. I'm like, oh my gosh, this man literally has like three different businesses, successful businesses, and then he has investments. So this man, he knows what he's doing, and he rich. So
He
that's
has
important to keep in mind.
much money. I think what's really funny is obviously they're building up for the next chapter for him to like see
Hmm.
Naomi when she walks in, like, what are you doing? Because obviously he writes like
Oh
new books.
yeah.
They're very ambiguous with the manager who ends up hiring her a few chapters before.
Oh my gosh,
I
yes.
always thought like there was going to be beef between those two owners or business people, but
Uh-huh.
I guess this was the build up, right? So I think the next one will be like,
Yeah.
"What are you doing here?" And then she's gonna be like, "Well, I need a job," and then he's gonna let her
Yeah.
work. That's my
Pretty
prediction.
much.
I should probably stop predicting and just enjoy the reading.
I know.
I should
No,
just
you know what? I think out of all the chapters we might have read, I think this one was my favorite because it actually solidified like, dude, you have like the biggest crush on her. Like stop acting like you don't. Even like your coworkers at what is it
oh,
like the barber shop?
he Facebook stalked her in this one.
Huh?
He Facebook stalked her.
Oh my god, that was exciting. I'm like, oh, he has such a huge crush on her. He is down the rabbit hole. He can't get out of it. He
Who is
literally
this?
looked her like saw her high school photos, her ex. When he saw how happy she was in like with her ex fiance, he's like, I'm done. I'm mad. I don't want to know anymore. Oh yeah, so yeah, he definitely has the strongest attraction for her, and he had a wet dream, so
That's not very Christian. I'm just kidding.
not very, not
I'm just
very Christian of him.
um, yeah, I think the read was enjoyable. Let's okay. One, no vocabulary these 4 chapters, so there's that.
Yeah.
Um, like I said, I took up a new hobby. I took up fishing. So reading, I was just reading while I was fishing.
Mm.
And then because obviously Brenda and I speak because we're amigis, you were just busy this week, right? So when did you cram down
Yeah.
the chapters?
Honestly, yesterday, last night. I finished last night, so but I think what makes it easy is that they're fun, quick
They're easy
chapters that
chapters.
you can get
It's just
through.
you making the time to read, which is why I feel like it's so important for us to be realistic about why we say, what our schedule was like and what we actually did and read. I mean, there are some
Mhm.
working professionals. I know this girl and she's reading books every single night. Like instead of scrolling, she's reading.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting, once you start to readjust your life to incorporate this. But it's worth having that honest discussion because I think a lot of people are like us, where
Yeah.
you're busy. It might not be work. It might just be personal life. You're like doing things, and you might
Mhm.
not end up, being as focused in it. But very easy. I mean, if you start off with like easy books, I think it shouldn't be an issue, right? Like fun, enjoyable books, which is why we're reading.
Yeah. Yeah, and honestly, I think so far I'm like actually enjoying the book now, now that we're getting into like more content, some more excitement. We have like more people that we're interacting with. So, yes, it's actually starting to become enjoyable as super corny as it is. And I feel like with the author, she tries to make some funny moments, but I don't think she hits the punchline there. So we'll give it to her.
She has 2 other
But
books. We don't know. Her writing might change.
maybe. But no, yeah, I think so far, if you're trying to get back into reading, just like maybe an easy book like the one we're reading, it's definitely helpful. And I think before you know it, you're already like halfway through the book.
You're done. You're done. But side note, what I need to figure out is like the Kindle lets you take notes, but I'm wondering if you take a
Hmm.
note and it's a note per page, or if it's a note per like it'll collect. I'll have to do some research. Like if it collects the notes per chapter, then that's amazing. But if it's
Hmm.
notes per page, then it's not. But that'll be a side quest that I end up trying to figure out.
Hmm.
Um, Let me see. No. Yeah, it'll let you take a note, but I have to do some research. But
Oh, okay.
it's gonna be a short review. I mean, it was a really quick, easy read. Let's aim for the 4 next chapters,
Hmm.
and then or do
Yeah.
you want to try to do 5? You want to try to be ambitious and do 5?
I don't think I'm there yet, but
Okay.
we'll stick to the 4 chapters. I think like I don't know why, but 4 chapters just seems like so doable, honestly.
Oh yeah, no, I think so too. We're just so busy. But okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Well, we hope you enjoyed this review. If you have any comments, questions, please drop them down below. Follow our
Yes.
Instagram and our TikTok
We
because we
have
are
an
more.
Instagram and TikTok.
Right, we finally have all that. It's the same handle, Miki's
Yes.
time. We go to coffee
Yes.
shops and
Yes.
fun things. So thank you so much, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.